kiosks. What plans do you have to resettle them? Where are you taking them? They are going to be key-faced. People are going to start carrying.
Uganda speaks in echoes of drums, of debate, of restless winds moving through parliament and the streets alike. In this season, voices rise not as whispers but as proverbs carried on fire. Odonga speaks with the sharpness of a spear, Godba Tumushabe replies with the patience of a herdsman watching the horizon. Between them, the nation listens, half in hope, half in caution, because every word now feels like a seed thrown into uncertain soil. The debate is on national sovereignty bill, which I was the first to analyze publicly in Uganda. They almost wrote Bobi Wine into it, Otto says, and the crowd murmurs like grass before rain. Hello, man, to God, the homestead now feels like it knows a name, a face, a voice it fears. In African wisdom, a spear that chooses its enemy before the hand has already betrayed its purpose. Is this sovereignty, or is it not cast too carefully? The people wonder whether the law protects the house or watches those who question its builder.
What the government is trying to do, they are trying to pass a law which controls activities for people outside Uganda. People outside Uganda from influencing the internal matters of Uganda. At the face of it, this is a very bad law. This is a very bad law. I have read the contents. Actually, inside the law, they just fell short of adding the name of Bobi Wine. They just fell short. We've ever passed a law like that, the UPDF Act, where we put names of people.
Yeah.
This is the only country in the world where two things happen in our laws. One, we have a penal offense in the Constitution. Usually the Constitution should say it is illegal for anyone to overthrow government using unlawful means. But in our Constitution it says anyone who commits such a thing commits an offense of treason. Yeah. It should have been the penal code to prescribe there, but that shows where we've come from.
The road once belonged to whistles and raised hands to the rhythm of ordinary order. Now boots stand where traffic once flowed gently. Otto's question lingers like dust at sunset. Why does the soldier guide the taxi? When the drum of war enters the marketplace, even peace begins to walk cautiously. It is not the act alone, but the meaning behind it. For a nation is not only ruled by power, but by the symbols it allows to breathe among its people.
If I were in parliament, I would ask, why do you bring the military to do traffic work?
Yeah.
It's look weird to see someone who should be in international war stopping a car like this with a gun behind. No one is asking those questions because now people fear. You rather be in yellow. It is now a risky business to be in opposition.
Yeah, it is.
So, I would even ask questions. You are breaking people's kiosks. What plans do you have to resettle them? Where are you taking them? They are going to be key-faced. People are going to start carrying metals. Opposition has been obliterated.
Beneath the soil, Uganda's gold sleeps like ancient kings, heavy with promise. Otto speaks of it traveling far to markets of the desert, to towers of glass, while its shadow never returns to the books of the Uganda Revenue Authority. This is a story older than borders, wealth that works without leaving footprints at home. And so the people ask, if the granary is full, why do the children still count hunger in the night?
Ugandan gold is listed in the Dubai stock markets. You can Google and check. But there is no record of such gold paying taxes with URA. The law should have targeted such kind of behaviors because there are people who are well positioned in government, they are transacting in trade of gold, but they don't declare their taxes. It is listed. Even Ugandan oil products is listed in international. You wonder which product they're selling because we have not yet started extracting the actual fuel.
Sanctions, Otto warns, are not arrows that chooses their target. They are fire in dry season. Once lit, they do not ask who voted for the National Unity Platform or who stayed silent. They burn fields, homes, and hopes alike. In the struggle for change, the temptation to call distant storms is strong. But African memory teaches this. When you invite the wind, be ready for the dust it brings to your own doorstep.
If you call for sanctions on Uganda government, even those who voted for NUP will suffer and die. So the government is coming at the heat of the moment to control that kind of behavior like that of Bobby Wine. Now they are passing a law that will collectively...
Actually, I don't think that the guys who are passing the law have what you have in mind on the corrective sanctions, because like most of the people who have been involved in lobbying for sanctions have moved because of the violations of human rights. They have moved to go say do targeted functions. These are individuals that we know. They are the ones who are basically acting in a criminal manner, arresting people, kidnapping, torturing.
I agree.
So I think that's
there is a section inside there which also criminalizes economic sabotage. Anything that you do that sabotages the economy of Uganda. There is also a section in that bill which criminalizes malicious posts.
Malicious posts
on social media. Like if I post something that there is war in Uganda and it is denying revenue. So at the face of it, I think the law will pass because Parliament is very vulnerable. The speakers want to be speakers. There are so many people who want to be ministers. So what it means
it's good
is
timing,
it's good timing. It will pass. It will pass close to about 90%.
Then comes Tumushabe, not with thunder, but with water-measured reflectives. Sovereignty, he reminds us, is a calabash carried between worlds. Hold it too tightly and it cracks. Hold it too loosely and it spills. Uganda does not stand alone on the hill. It stands among many hills, trading, speaking, negotiating its place. The question is not whether to get the calabash, but how to carry it without losing water inside.
For the interest of our listeners, basically it's, the foreigner in this bill, in this draft bill, is characterized. There are about 4 categories, about 5 categories. One, a non-Ugandan citizen, which is obvious.
The second one is
because you are a foreigner. If you are non-Ugandan, you are a foreigner. I don't even see why you would even put this here.
Whether you're in the country or not.
Yes, you are a foreigner. If you are a non-Ugandan citizen, you are a foreigner.
Yes.
So I don't know why even a lawyer would put this in the law. 2, a Ugandan citizen resident outside Uganda. This is completely archaic. That you are a Ugandan citizen, but as long as you are residing outside of Uganda, you are a foreigner, or whatever that means. 3, a foreign government, consulate, high commission, embassy, or other diplomatic missions. This is like stating the obvious. I don't know, because a foreign government cannot be a Ugandan citizen, can it? 4, a corporation, company, non-government organization, or other legal entity incorporated, unincorporated, or registered outside Uganda.
And so, Uganda stands listening to its own heartbeat. Between law and liberty, between gold and hunger, between power and people, the story continues to unfold. Like all African journeys, it is not a straight path, but a winding one, guided by voices, mistakes, and wisdom yet to come. In the end, the nation must choose not only what it becomes, but how it remembers the road it took to get there.